Hi everyone, my name is Grayson Murphy, and I'm the Digital Preservation Librarian at UAB, and this is my project about utilizing METS files to conduct a large-scale file format analysis of our ETD collection. This project is pretty niche on the surface, but I do think it has larger implications for our work with electronic theses and dissertations, so I wanted to share it. So to give you some context, over the last year and a half, we implemented a locally hosted instance of Archivematica. As a part of the ingest process, Archivematica creates a comprehensive METS XML document containing metadata about the content in each archival information package. Once we ingested all of our content, I decided to examine the METS documents pertaining to our ETD collection, which all came as PDFs. I did this because I learned about all the different PDF types and versions recently, and I was curious as to what we had in our collection. I utilized Python to pull copies of the METS documents and analyze them based on the PDF type, version, and creation year. I do want to note that UAB's graduate school does not define requirements for PDFs that students submit. So I do want to quickly point out the breadth of PDF versions and types there are. There are over 15 versions of what I'm calling vanilla PDF, dating back to 1993. Version 1.7 became the first ISO standard version in 2008, and that was followed by version 2 in 2017, which is the first vanilla version that eliminated all proprietary technologies. There's also PDF-A or archival, which is a PDF type distinct from vanilla PDF, which was created in 2005 and does have its own multiple iterations. And features of this type include, it needs to be 100% self-contained. So they include having a standard-based metadata, the fonts must be embedded, encryption is forbidden, and any calls to external content are forbidden, among many other features. And additionally, there are 7 other types of PDFs. So how did UAB's ETDs fare? We have over 7,300 ETDs in our preservation systems currently, and of those, only 74 are PDF-A, with the remaining being vanilla PDF. I also pulled the creating application metadata field, and there were nearly 1,000 different applications and tools that created the PDFs in our collection. Here we see a bar chart of the vanilla PDF types broken down by version. Version 1.5 is obviously far and away the highest represented version. Notably, we see that in fourth, version 1.7, which is that first ISO standard, has only a little over 700. And all by its lonesome, too small to even have its own bar, is version 2, which again was that elimination of proprietary technology. Here's that same data in relation to the year of creation as a heat map. This is based on percentage. And so this is normalized by year. And so, for example, in 2004, 81% of all ETDs were version 1.5. I do want to call attention to the bottom right here, where we do see an uptick starting in 2018 of more and more PDFs being version 1.7, which is good. And here is another bar chart, this time of the PDF-A count. We can see the vast majority of them are concentrated in those first 2 versions, which at this point are over 20 years old. I also want to discuss supplemental files. Students are able to submit unlimited supplemental files to ProQuest in addition to the main thesis and dissertation as a PDF. In fact, one student submitted over 700 supplemental files, so that was fun. And of our ETDs, over 200 of them did include supplemental files, and these are broken down across 25 file formats among 1,200 supplemental files. Here are the various types of supplemental files we encountered. You can see you've got some more common ones, such as CSV, MP4, but we also did get some less common ones, including older versions of Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, and there's some C++ files and some other lesser known files that are a little bit harder to access in this day and age. So in conclusion, do you know what your ETDs are? There are many PDF types and versions that have different long-term preservation implications. And at UAB, only 1% of those ETDs came in archivable format, with the supplemental files running the gamut. So next steps for me, I'm going to investigate the pros and cons to normalizing to PDFA. Is this even a realistic goal? And I'm also going to investigate normalizing supplemental files to the best of our abilities. I'm also interested in hearing from you guys. Do you normalize your ETDs and their supplemental files? And do you think it's a good idea to work with graduate schools to require a PDFA copy of ETDs? Thank you.